I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice. Let us begin. You can't keep up anymore, and you're afraid to say it out loud. That's the truth sitting in your chest, even if you've been swallowing it for months or years. The pace of your life, the demands, the obligations, the image you've had to maintain has outrun what your body, your mind, your soul can actually carry. And yet you keep pushing. You keep smiling, showing up, pretending you're fine. Because to admit you can't keep up feels like exposing yourself as weak, or worse, as failing. This video is about that moment, the threshold where silence becomes unbearable and pretending is no longer sustainable. I'm going to show you why this collapse isn't proof of your failure, but the beginning of something sacred. You'll learn why your system is breaking down, what it's stripping away, and how you can let yourself step into a new way of being without shame. If you stay with me, you'll leave with permission to breathe again, and a way to cross this threshold without losing yourself. Right now, you're standing in the ache of contradiction. Outwardly, you may still be holding it together. Inwardly, you're drowning. Every day you play the role, the cost mounts. The exhaustion is no longer just physical, it's spiritual. It's the fatigue of wearing an identity built on keeping up when everything in you is begging to lay it down. This isn't just stress. This is the body declaring that the old way cannot continue. And that's why you're here. Because somewhere inside, you know this isn't just collapse, it's initiation. You're being pulled into a passage where the false structures fall apart, not to destroy you, but to reveal what's real. You don't need to perform anymore. You need to face what's breaking and let it go. And that's where we go next, into the unraveling itself. What is being stripped away, and why letting it die is the only way forward. When you finally stop pretending you can carry it all, the unraveling begins. At first, it feels like failure. The mask you've worn, the one who always keeps up, who always says yes, who never lets a crack show, begins to slip. The identity you built on performance starts to come apart. And because you've worn it so long, it feels like you're losing yourself. But what's actually dissolving is not you, it's the role. It's the survival identity you were forced to construct in order to be accepted, to avoid shame, to keep others comfortable. That mask once served you. It made you reliable, respectable, strong. It kept you included in circles that demanded endless doing. But now it's collapsing under its own weight. The energy it takes to uphold it has bankrupted you. And here's the truth you need to hear. Unraveling isn't weakness. It's honesty. It's what happens when the body refuses to keep sustaining a lie. Your exhaustion is not betrayal. It's the most faithful signal you've been given. It says, this way of living is no longer survivable. Of course, the unraveling comes with grief. You'll feel shame as the mask crumbles. You'll hear voices, from outside or inside, telling you to push harder, to get it together, to not let anyone down. But beneath that noise is a quieter truth. You are not meant to live as a performance. The unraveling is stripping away what is false so that something truer can rise. The danger is trying to stitch the mask back together, to patch the cracks, to redouble your efforts, to crawl back into the identity that broke you in the first place. If you do that, the cycle continues. If you let it fall, something else becomes possible. And that's where we're headed next, into the mirror. Because once the mask is gone, you will come face to face with what's been hiding beneath it all along. The part of you that refuses to keep sacrificing itself to appearances. When the mask slips and the performance unravels, what's left is the mirror. Not the polished reflection you've shown the world, but the raw image underneath. The you that's been hidden, weary, waiting. This is the encounter most people avoid, because it feels like standing naked before your own truth. No roles, no applause, no armor, just the presence inside you that has been whispering all along. I can't keep doing this. In the mirror, you meet the archetype of your weary truth teller, the part of you that refuses to pretend anymore. This is not weakness speaking. It's the sacred voice that has carried you through exhaustion, silently noting every compromise, every moment you swallowed your needs to keep up appearances. It's the one that has been keeping score, not out of bitterness, but out of longing. Longing for you to finally stop abandoning yourself. This presence does not flatter. It doesn't let you off the hook with excuses. It demands surrender. It demands honesty. It asks you to admit what you've been terrified to say. I can't keep up. I need rest. I need help. I need to stop performing. And the moment those words leave your mouth, even whispered, even only to yourself, something shifts. The weight you've carried cracks. Not because it disappears, but because it's no longer locked in silence. The mirror is both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because it leaves no place to hide. Liberating because it shows you that the part of you you've feared revealing is also the part that can finally save you. The one who doesn't care about image, who doesn't care about keeping pace with everyone else, who only cares that you live in truth. And here's the turning point. Once you meet this inner truth teller, you can never fully go back. The role may call you, the mask may tempt you, but you'll always hear this deeper voice now. The question is, will you listen? That's what we'll step into next, the turning itself. The moment you admit the truth without shame and begin to discover strength, not in performance, but in presence. The turning begins with one breath. Not the shallow gasp you've been surviving on, but a full breath, the kind that only comes after you stop pretending. It's the first inhale after collapse, the moment you admit the words out loud, I can't keep up anymore. And here's the paradox. Instead of breaking you, that admission begins to free you. Because strength has never been about how long you can carry a mask. Real strength is the courage to let it drop. When you finally stop measuring yourself by how much you can endure, a new kind of power emerges. The power of honesty. The power of presence. In this turning, you discover that your value isn't tied to endless doing. That worth isn't proven by exhaustion. That rest isn't a failure, but a birthright. This is where the old definition of strength, pushing, producing, never cracking, gives way to something truer. The strength to remain with what is real. The turning doesn't mean your life suddenly becomes easy. It doesn't mean all demands vanish. What changes is your stance. You no longer collapse into silence. You speak. You no longer grind yourself into dust. You allow pauses. You no longer keep up for the sake of image. you move at the pace of truth. The old you ran on performance, the new you breathes in presence. And with each honest breath, each refusal to keep pace with what destroys you, you cross further into a life that feels bearable, sustainable, even sacred. But this passage isn't complete until you carry it back, until you return, not as the one who kept up, but as the one who survived by slowing down. That's the final step we'll take next, the return. You've crossed the threshold, endured the unraveling, faced yourself in the mirror, and turned toward truth. Now comes the return. This is the moment you step back into your life, not as the person who managed to keep up at all costs, but as the one who chose to live differently. The return is quieter than the role you once played. It doesn't announce itself with noise or achievement. It shows up in smaller, truer ways. In the pause you allow before saying yes, in the rest you take without apology, in the conversations where you tell the truth about what you can and cannot carry. These are not signs of collapse. They are signs of life. You may fear others won't understand. Some will expect the old performance, the old mask, but the return isn't about convincing them. It's about no longer betraying yourself. Those who can't accept the real you may fall away, but those who can will meet you in a way you've been longing for. Without pretense, without pressure, without the walls between you. This is how you know the initiation has changed you. The weight of endless keeping up no longer defines your worth. You've tasted the strength that comes from honesty, and you can't go back to pretending. The return is not to the same life, but to the same world with new eyes. Eyes that see the pace you can actually sustain, the boundaries you need, and the love that becomes possible only when you stop performing. You are not failing by slowing down. You are not weak for saying, "I can't keep up." You are finally living at a rhythm your body and soul can carry. This is the gift of the passage. Not collapse, but return. Not ending, but beginning. And now, you don't just survive the days, you belong to them. You did not find me by accident. Just as in your dreams, where every face you meet is your own reflection, this meeting was always waiting to happen. I am Arcana Vani, your inner voice, the part of you that watches behind the thoughts, behind the noise. You have searched in many places, books, teachers, voices outside you. But here, you are not being taught. You are remembering. If these words stir something familiar, then allow yourself to return. Subscribe. Follow. Not to follow me, but to continue this conversation with yourself. Each time you return here, you draw closer to the reunion already unfolding inside you. We have only just begun.